update on Amy Slaton to share with you guys. She ended up tying the knot with her boyfriend Brian on Halloween. I was actually shocked because she's been booked and busy. She's been traveling all over the place. It seems like once a week she's doing like another event where she's doing either some kind of meet and greet or art show. And I was like, okay, well, it seems like she's been so busy. Maybe they're going to get married next year. Nope, they got married on Halloween. Here's some pictures from before their wedding. She looks absolutely stunning in that dress. Here's Tammy, and look at Tammy. Tammy looks amazing. They both look great. People magazine did an exclusive interview with Amy and Brian after the wedding, and they got some pictures from the wedding, and they revealed that Amy and Brian tied the knot at Talbot Tavern, which is a historic restaurant and inn in Bardstown, Kentucky, that's said to be haunted. So I guess they did not end up going with the asylum, which I think that was a good choice. The tavern they got married at is known for ghost encounters, according to some of the people who stayed there and worked there. They claim one of their most reoccurring ghosts that come and visit the tavern is the ghost of Jesse James, which was the infamous bank robber cowboy from way back when. Actually, fun fact, I'm from Kearney, Missouri, and that's the birthplace of Jesse James. Like, that's the one thing my small town was known for. Like, I never understood it. We would have parades and festivals named after him. The Jesse James Festival, the Jesse James Parade. I'm like, okay, we have all these big events celebrating a bank robber that took people's lives. It was just so crazy to me. But anyways, so they claim the ghost of Jesse James likes to pop up at this tavern, and this lady in white, which numerous people claim they've seen the ghost of the lady in white, and even one of the employees claims she's encountered this ghost before. There have been a lot of pictures taken at the tavern where you can see orbs, where they claim the orbs are spirits in the picture, and they've had objects just suddenly start moving for no reason, like forks and spoons, and they've had furniture move out of nowhere, and they claim that they've had keys go missing from the front desk and suddenly like appear at the end of the hallway. They've had a lot of different weird things go down there, and Amy decided to tie the knot there. According to People magazine, Amy and Brian had an old-timey themed wedding, and they had like a Victorian meets light gray meets dusty blue and white color themed wedding. And I guess they had some of Amy's handmade artwork displayed for decoration around at the tavern, and they also had moons hanging from the ceiling and as decoration. And then I guess one of the things that Brian wanted was for Amy to dye her hair pink. I thought her hair was purple just from the lighting and the pictures they used, but I guess it's supposed to be pink. It kind of looks like a deep, like purplish pink. Amy just started getting really into crafting and making artwork this past year, and I wouldn't be surprised if she initially got into it as a way to like make stuff for her wedding, you know, at a more affordable price. And then she's like, hey, you know, I actually enjoy doing this, and she decided to like start making a side hustle out of it. And Amy said that she cherished the journey of planning the wedding, and she liked embracing the art of picking out the location, picking out the decor. But she said the most challenging part for her was trying to select who was going to be her bridesmaids and who was going to be Brian's groomsmen. Amy said, yet I intuitively knew that my extraordinary friend Alicia Davis would graciously accept the esteemed honor of being my maid of honor even before I extended the heartfelt invitation. So she had her friend be her bridesmaid. And you know what? That really does not sound like Amy. It definitely sounds like she used ChatGPT to do this People magazine interview. But hey, I ain't knocking it. You know, you gotta really make sure you're using your words precisely when you're putting them out there. We see how much Amy struggles to say basic words on TV, so I'm not buying that she's dropping all these extraordinary words in this interview just off the top of her head without any help. But a lot of people were wondering, like, if the family was going to be there. We saw that Tammy was there in the pictures, but she's been doing all these, like, events with her family members, and she's only been doing these events, though, with Misty, Chris, and his wife, And she hasn't done any events with Tammy or Amanda. So a lot of people have been speculating that Amy has been beefing with Tammy and Amanda. TMZ dropped this video where you can see a cameraman was outside the tavern. You can see Amy and Brian there. You can see Chris there with his wife. I can't tell if Misty's right there. It kind of looks like Misty. But I don't see Amanda anywhere in sight. So I'm definitely curious if she did end up actually showing up. And if she didn't, what the reasoning is behind that. But they did film the wedding, and it is going to be on the next season of 1,000 Pound Sisters. Amy did confirm that. Brian was dead set on Amy having pink hair for their wedding, and Amy was dead set on having a Victorian style updo, and her wedding gown featured flower and vine details and the beading, and her wedding dress looked amazing on her. I think like she got like the best dress she could have picked. It really flattered her body. The wedding was officiated by a family friend named Billy, who is also the same guy who officiated Tammy and Caleb's wedding back in 2022. And Amy said that she's just so glad that she finally found her other half and her soulmate, and she loves how caring Brian is, and she says that he's really stepped up and been amazing with her boys. And I remember saying that like when she's having so many issues with Michael, that there would be somebody that'd be willing to step up and be everything she and the boys needed. And that's what Brian has been, that's what it seems like Brian has been doing so far. I mean, outside the time when they got arrested and caught with shrooms, when she got bit with a camel. But besides that, it seems like he's really stepped up and been good for her and the boys. They had barbecue and country fried steak for their wedding, for the menu, and then they had cupcakes for dessert, and then they had some dancing and a little small reception afterwards. And then they interviewed Brian, and Brian said that he's looking forward to the future and helping raising the boys and trying to do the best he can with the boys. And he said that Amy is going to be focusing on her artwork more, and he said that he is going to be focusing on writing about sports, because that's what he did when Amy met him. He was a sports writer for the local newspaper, and he's actually done several different parts in the paper. I think he covered sports, and at one time I think he covered like obituaries or something like that. But I will give it to him, at least he has like his own hustle, like his own house. He's not one of those guys that's just trying to come and completely mooch off Amy like we've seen a lot of other guys try to do, especially like right after her and Michael broke up. But that's pretty much it, guys. So congratulations to Amy and Brian. I'm looking forward to watching their wedding in the next season. But let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.